We've welcomed in a new year, but it's not just a new year, it's a new decade. This means a significant amount of change, but change is often associated with fear. However, what we need to remember is that we are never staying the same. Growth and change are occurring every minute of every day. We are either evolving toward a more optimal state of well-being or we're devolving away from that state. However, we are never just staying the same. Welcome everyone. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and this week's message from Mother God is all about embracing change. We need to get used to the idea that we are safe and loved and that when we spend our days, our weeks, our lives enmeshed in fear, we are closing ourselves off from divine intervention and support. So let's take a look at what Mother God wants to share with us about how we can be best served by embracing change. And she begins. Dearest ones, the desire to remain the same, to keep repeating familiar patterns and living in a way that suits your comfort zone is a natural and normal way to conduct your life. However, it's also dangerous. The human condition requires growth and change in order to be sustained. The cells in the body are constantly renewing themselves as part of maintaining a system of wellness. You then cannot attempt to stagnate. You then cannot attempt to stay the same and wonder why you're feeling unhappy with your life. As you move into this new decade, we advise that you move into the space of unconditional love. This is non-judgmental acceptance of yourself and all others with whom you come into contact. Part of being able to move forward in love is the ability to leave fear behind. If you attempt to drag your old fear, worries, and anxieties into this fresh new space, you'll create for yourself heartache. Instead of holding on to worn out beliefs and fear about tomorrow, it's time for you to embrace the opportunity that's here for you now. When you cling desperately to yesterday, you cannot grab onto the promise offered by today. If you desire to be successful, you must learn to let go. Let go of worn out beliefs, let go of old patterns that are holding you stuck, and let go of the fear that what you are can never be enough. If you are to move forward in the energy of unconditional love, you must progress without fear. You must commit to loving yourself and others as they are, as you help yourself continue to grow. When you give yourself the confidence generated by acceptance, you'll be able to move forward with ease. The fear that had been holding you stuck will no longer seem valid, and you'll find yourself saying yes to your growth and expansion on every level. Open your heart to love and close the door on fear. Now let's take a deeper look at what we're being asked to do, because just hearing the words without understanding them doesn't give you the ability to move forward in your life. And that's when you may start feeling like, oh, I'm stuck or I'm stagnant. What you are is in a position where you have allowed fear to cloud out all other information. And we need to remember that if you are filled with fear, if you're up to here with fear, there's no room for that unconditional love that is constantly being sent to you from the divine to find a place to enter into your being. So what do you do? When you are overcome by fear, you're believing, even though it's an erroneous belief, you are believing that you can be hurt or that you can be destroyed in some way. So what I want you to do immediately is begin reminding yourself that you are safe and loved. That is the promise that the divine has made to us. And they don't make idle promises. They don't just throw out words because they've got nothing better to do. If you hear from the divine in whatever way you want to connect with them, a promise, then you know that it is absolutely a certainty. Now, if you are not connecting with the divine, and if you are hooked into the ego, which gives false promises, you can get yourself in trouble. But remember that the ego will make up things. It will convince you that you're something that you're not, that you're less than, or you're uh, beyond what anybody else could ever possibly achieve. Now, perhaps you are. But if you are, you would realize it on some level, and you would not need the stroking of the ego to tell you this. The ego is nefarious. It doesn't tell the truth most of the time. When you connect with the divine through your heart center, you will feel, hear, and see the truth of what you are receiving. Your life will begin to move forward in a beautiful sequence of joyful events. Even though there may be challenges, you are going to have the strength, the wisdom, whatever you need to meet that challenge. When the divine are helping you, and they desire to help everyone all of the time, but remember, you're the one that needs to allow it. But when the divine are helping you, it is not a fear-based help. It is not threatening. There's no anger, resentment, bitterness, jealousy. These are not products of the divine. If you are feeling this way, you have somehow confused the ego and the divine. Just let it all go. Instead, get into your heart and allow that fear, that bitterness, that anger, and that revenge to just wash free. Just imagine that the most beautiful, loving essence is moving through your body and washing the heart, and just allow all that negativity to be released and then to be replaced by a feeling of unconditional love. And this means that you're going to have to love you, all of the aspects of you, even those parts of you that you're still working on, that you're still desiring that they become more lovable or kinder or better in some way. Don't put a judgment on it. Just accept. From a place of acceptance, it's easier to grow. From a place of resistance, it's almost impossible to grow in a positive direction. And that's when you begin feeling like you've stagnated or you're stuck. If you feel that way, remember it's impossible for us not to grow in one direction or the other. So if you feel like you're stuck, you're probably devolving, going in the wrong direction. And that can be because you have resistance or you are refusing to accept all that you are out of fear. Let it go. Just let go of the fear and embrace the growth, the change, the divine support, love, and help that are here for you now. You are always worthy. You are always safe. And you are always loved. It's up to you to accept that truth. I'm grateful that you are here. I'm grateful that you are so interested in this topic, that you are doing the work that you need to do in order to move yourself forward. But just in case you feel like you can't do it alone, I want you to go to my website, marciamartinthehearthealer.com, and take a look. I have a class, Defeat the Demon of Fear. If fear has got you in a chokehold, you want to take this class. You want to give yourself the gift of freedom, freedom from fear. And as always, if you are interested in diving as deep as you can and you feel you need ongoing support, you are welcome to work with me or to join my Patreon community. I have so many different ways in which you can connect with me. I'm just grateful that you are discovering the joy of the spiritual journey. All of the information you need in order to connect with me is down below this video. And so for now, all I want to do is send you my love and my deep, deep gratitude. Thank you all for being here and making this world such a beautiful place to be.